Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon at the top of the page to get notified when I post a new video. Please give this video a thumbs up. Universal Channeling. Channeling the Conscious Universe. Blossom Goodchild, Channeling the Federation of Light, October 21, 2018. Blossom Goodchild. Hello guys. Are you ready to go on this one? Where to start? Federation of Light. Let us help you. You are inquiring about a message we brought through 8 years ago concerning vast containers aboard our ships, containing energy. Blossom Goodchild. Yes. All thanks to a certain gentleman who asked about them, due to your recent channeling regarding a layer of light ray around the sun. Federation of Light. Correct. We indeed, as perhaps assumed, engaged this gentleman's thoughts in order for him to recall and then vigilantly go and search through the many hundreds of our messages, to find this particular message that we wanted to bring up. So, firstly we give honor and gratitude to this gentleman for his perseverance and service. Blossom Goodchild. At this point, I'll put the channeling in from February 2010, the message you speak of, for it is absolutely necessary that this is read before we continue on. Is that right? Federation of Light. Very much so. Thanking you. Blossom Goodchild. Here it is. Good evening to you. Is it okay to have a chat? Now is a good time for me. Federation of Light. Welcome to you, sister of ours. Blossom Goodchild. Now that's an unusual way to address me. Federation of Light. And yet it is appropriate and of our choosing. We are most excited with the outcome of the asterisk healing which took place with you just a few of your days ago. Blockages were removed on a level that will leave you astounded at the degree in which we can now work with each other. Where would you care to begin? Blossom Goodchild. Oh. Well, I think I prefer to leave it with you. You say you can read our energy, so I'd rather leave it in your capable hands. Federation of Light. So be it. We graciously accept. Consider, if you will, all those who have arrived at a place within their being that serves well. Consider the notion that in a very short while, and we mean this on your earthly terms, your world as it is now shall no longer be. You ask of what changes are to occur? We wish to instill into the core of your beings that you have been preparing for this change for long enough, and your beings have adjusted to a level that much now is ready to begin. There is an attitude amongst the hierarchy that dispels a feeling of upliftment amongst the various ranks of our community. There is an area aboard many ships that has those who have been waiting, just like you, to be of utmost excitement. All is being brought out from its storage units and checked and double-checked to ensure that nothing can be misused or misinterpreted. Blossom Goodchild. Could you explain what is exactly in these storage units? I am imagining it is something far more important than your winter clothes. Federation of Light. Within blocks of vast containers there are preservatives that enable certain treasures from planes of a higher vibration to be kept in their perfect format. These preservatives allow us to maintain energies from other vibrations and present them in their truest form. It is a delicate operation to bring these valuable assets into the openness of even one of our mother ships. So precious are they in their form of glory. Blossom Goodchild. I keep feeling that I am not talking to an energy that is actually on the ship right now. Federation of Light. This is so. We come from a level of understanding that is above those who are in a position of great importance upon these vessels that are to deliver to you the light of the new world. Blossom Goodchild. So, are you saying, those on the ship actually have the light to give us? Federation of Light. Yes, that is correct. Let us explain a little more for your minds to be able to accept that which we are offering in words this night. For eons of your time it has been known by many that there are indeed light ships in your skies. It is nothing new. And yet, it is only now in this day and age, that we can reveal higher truths. Due to the upliftment of the vibration of your planet. The great plan is supremely on target and all is dwelling in its rightful place, in order for everything to come together in the divinity of that which is proposed. There are many more now on your earth that have awoken to their own divinity, which has brought forth this great change that is occurring at this very moment and shall continue to do so. It is so very exciting for us to know that we are on the brink of revealing the secrets that have had to be kept from you, purely because your world was not ready to receive it. This light of which we speak. This divine grace. Again we stumble with the inadequacy of words. Has traveled with the keepers of the light in safety beyond measure, until such a time that it can be presented to you. Blossom Goodchild. I can feel this pounding in my heart at the moment, and yet, it seems we are having trouble expressing that which you wish to say. Federation of Light. We shall persevere. It is merely the new vibration in which we are working that is settling down with both parties. This light, this treasure, is a gift to your world from a place that is not of substance. It is a purifying energy that when released into your atmosphere shall begin a photosynthesis of a nature as yet unknown to you. When this happens there will be noticeable changes that cannot be dismissed or denied. Blossom Goodchild. May I ask in what way do you mean? Federation of Light. In a way that will send your senses reeling. For it will be obvious to you in a flash that all these knowings you have had regarding your new world will be happening and transpiring right in front of you. These new sprinklings shall make headlines on your TV screens. Such new phenomena shall arise and cause much interest all over your globe. Blossom Goodchild. Sprinklings? Federation of Light. We thought you may question our choice of words. Blossom Goodchild. And your answer being? Federation of Light. We shall very gently be sprinkling particles of this divine light energy a little at a time to your planet and allow it to do its work. It is that for a time, it is possible for only small amounts to be diffused, otherwise it could cause a little mayhem due to its immense power. The integration must take place gradually. Your physical bodies too shall notice a difference with this new energy. There will be a lighter feeling within the actual physical body. Blossom Goodchild. Marvelous, will my scales have proof of this? I can't think of anything more magical. Federation of Light. It will begin with a feeling from within, that will contain lightness throughout the being. As if one is experiencing at times as if they are walking on air. Blossom Goodchild. This is fab news. Because as you are bringing this information through I can feel a touch of this lightness you are speaking of. And let me say, it feels good. Federation of Light. Let us then say. It is wise to keep grounded also. For one could become a little too deeply involved in the feeling, that the earthly matters get left behind. And yet we say this is not yet the correct time for that to happen. There has to remain the balance. That is one of the reasons many of you light beings are here. To bring in and anchor this new light energy that we have so very delicately been looking after. Blossom Goodchild. Now you sound like you are on / from the ship. Federation of Light. It is a little perplexing for you, is it not? Blossom Goodchild. Well, yes. 1 minute you're on it, the next you're not. I therefore ask you with the deepest respect, who exactly are you? Federation of Light. And we would reply, we are the bringers of peace. We are not of your world. We are not of form. We that are communicating with you in this present moment are only of light. Therefore we can be on / off as we see fitting. We have spoken to you before regarding overseers of the overseers. We are an embodiment of light that is most happy to be working with this great plan and making sure that all is in place. We are the ones who make decisions regarding any quick changes that may have to be put in place. And yes, we read your thoughts, we are the ones who made the most serious decision to abort the mission that was promised on the date of your October 14th. This, as you are well aware, was not something for those in lesser ranks to decide. It came from the highest council, and we can say that we chose well to do what we did. The outcome, had we gone ahead as planned, would have been a miserable one for a vast number of those residing on your planet. When the time is appropriate we shall offer more information on that matter, for we feel it is important that it is understood what actually took place. And yet we would ask you to be patient. For come the time when we choose to open up the realities of what we were confronted with, it will seem in perfect coherence and be more fully understood. Blossom Goodchild. Could you just talk a little more about this light? I had never really thought of a new vibration, a new energy being transported in a ship. I had always imagined it would just sort of stream down from above. Federation of Light. How can we assist in explaining to you what it actually is? Blossom Goodchild. Perseverance, I guess. Federation of Light. And yet, we would again stress that not all things of our enlightenment can be expressed by us in a way that you are able to even visualize. Blossom Goodchild. Keep trying. Federation of Light. The Keepers of the Light would be likened to what are known in your world as the Knights Templar. The Keepers of the Light are not of a regular disposition. They are of the highest embodiment, and they have been entrusted to protect this form of light that is destined to bring in the new world into its existence. Blossom Goodchild. That's a pretty heavy-duty task. How were these keepers chosen and how many are there? Federation of Light. 12, for it is of the divine number. How were they chosen? They were a distinguished band that presented themselves to the highest council. The choosing of such a band of light was undertaken through a series of what you would term as tests, and yet again, this is only a word that is appropriate for explanation purposes. The tests as such were undergone by the keepers before they were in a position to present themselves. Not unlike in your world when young spirits are trained in a certain monastery to be of service when they are older. It is a very similar situation, and yet not in the same fashion, but this is the closest we can come to help you understand. Blossom Goodchild. So, this light then, travels on board under the greatest most sacred protection, until it is time to do what it is meant to do? Federation of Light. This is correct. You see, dear one. It is not as you may imagine, a vast container in which this light is stored. These containers harbor the, shall we say, condensed version. It is a never-ending source that is contained within. Blossom Goodchild. When you say the keepers protect it. Who from? Federation of Light. From itself. Blossom Goodchild. Which means? Federation of Light. This force of light is of itself only. It knows only of itself. Nothing else. It is contained therefore in a way that is kept under control. For as we have said, if it were to be presented in its fullness, all at once, your planet would be close to, the word we would use would be, disintegrating. Blossom Goodchild. So how do the keepers protect it from itself? Federation of Light. By keeping it safe. The containers/chambers this source of light resides in, is of an advanced technology that allows its compressed form to remain comfortable within. These chambers are scanned and monitored in order to keep the treasure within, in its most appropriate state at any given time. We seem to have digressed from that which we started out by speaking of. And yet it is of our intention now to disclose such things that until now have remained out of your knowledge base. Although we would say some are aware of this, and some will recall from their memory banks this information that is already known to them. For as we say, many of you are here to help anchor this light as it sprinkles through. Blossom Goodchild. Well, I am feeling as if we are coming to the end of our session for now. Federation of Light. Indeed, this is correct. We would not wish to overindulge. For we are learning of the energy it involves upon your human form. It is not the same for us, yet we chose to be vigilant on your behalf. Blossom Goodchild. Jolly good. As long as you've got it all under control. I've really enjoyed tonight. Thank you for imparting that information. Good stuff. What? Federation of Light. We bid you adieu. Blossom Goodchild. I would very much like to have an explanation soon as to why this adieu thing has been happening lately. It never did before, particularly, that I can recall. And that definitely is to me a sign that my mate White Cloud is about. Federation of Light. All in good time, dearest lady. All in good time. Blossom Goodchild. Fair enough. I can handle that. Good night to you. Sweet dreams. Federation of Light. Our realities. Until next time. We send our blessings to all. Blossom Goodchild. I was very blessed to receive a healing from a wonderful light worker who was visiting Noosa last weekend. White Cloud had asked her to do so, and yet when she visited, I said I was feeling so well now and didn't feel in need of a healing, so we had a cuppa and a chat instead. However, when I began meditation that evening, straight away I heard, "You need to have the healing." I called her the next day and she too had got through later in the day. It would be wise for Blossom to have the healing. Who are we to argue? So I had it. And clearly it was necessary. Many thanks to a very special soul indeed. Dispels. I thought this an odd word to use. The dictionary says, as if by scattering. So I suppose it fits. Coergence. For the life of me I cannot find out what this word means, and yet it comes up in a few sentences when I Google it. If anyone can assist, many thanks. And let's hope it makes sense in the sentence. Back to the present. Okay, so where to from here? Federation of Light. To continue on. These containers have been of service over these last years. We would say in your terms, approximately 7. Until that point the vibration of your planet was not of a frequency that would have been able to fuse and benefit from them and would have caused mayhem should the energies have been released too early. Too soon. We would liken that which we speak of, to a large block of ice and little cubes being severed from it and melted and sprinkled into your atmospheres. These particles of energy are strictly measured. Like a recipe that must adhere to correct levels in order to produce the perfect cake. Too much would not serve. Too little would do the same. Blossom Goodchild. I guess we would like to know what exactly this energy is? What it contains. Federation of Light. Love, dearest Blossom. These vast containers contain higher vibrational energies of love. It is as pure and simple as that, and yet, we understand why you would be thinking, well, just pour the whole lot on this planet because it sure could do with it. Blossom Goodchild. Yep, you read my mind. Federation of Light. This could not be tolerated by your present energies. We would go as far as to say, that if this was to take place, your planet would be reduced back to its original form, an energy of love. Nothing left. No world to speak of. No, nothing. Just back to love, and this is not what you, or all that is trying to accomplish. Blossom Goodchild. So many questions running through my head. So, why now? Why make it happen to bring this up again? For, let's be honest, like so many of your communications, it could have been buried in the archives of time forever. Federation of Light. Because now, is the time when we are not just doubling, yet, tripling the size of the cubes. This is why you are all going through so much. This is why you are hitting rock bottom and yet, next minute, soaring through the rooftops. The intensity of the energy coming in has reached a place where it is perfectly aligned in order to coincide with all that is to take place. All that we have spoken of recently / ever is reaching a stumbling block. Blossom Goodchild. What? Did I receive that correctly? Federation of Light. Yes. Yet, there is no cause for concern. In any way, shape or form. For, we have seen it ahead. We are aware of it and therefore, we find it necessary to amp up the vibes and indeed, the situation. It is for us to take control and make sure that this blockage is immediately dampened down / out, so that we may all carry on along a smooth course. Blossom Goodchild. Well, of course, I have to ask what this blockage is? Yet, already aware with respect, I will not get a straight answer. Federation of Light. For that would not be suitable. We play our opponents at their own game. Secrecy is best acknowledged in this particular case. Blossom Goodchild. Fair enough. I won't press further. Federation of Light. Yet, we shall continue in that vein to say also, that the amping up of sending through the energy in larger doses is silently, behind the scenes, having a greater effect than we ever thought it would/might. It is, yes, causing turbulence in a fashion that upturns the energy of the beings who are conducting affairs that are certainly not of the heart. This driving force of energy/light love is causing many to think again. Rather likened to in your fairy tales when the wicked witch repents and becomes virtuous. This is happening more quickly than we anticipated and is most joyful to encounter. What this stronger energy also accomplishes, is to wipe out, and as we say, upturn plans that are underway to demolish good. Blossom Goodchild. Meaning? Federation of Light. It is nothing new to many of you, that there are those in command/control of your planet Earth that have an ideal to reduce the numbers of those who live upon it. Their plans to bring this about are quite severe. Yet, there are certain universal laws/rules that have to be abided by, and these plans that are underway are breaking all the rules. This cannot be allowed. Even though they think they are getting away with it, intervention shall be called in to counteract such devious thoughts and plans. No matter what any of you may have heard or read and maintained into your thought system, it will not be allowed to go as far as the intent of the hierarchy that is in place. We clarify, due to your thoughts blossom, that by hierarchy, in this placement we speak of those in a higher ranking system that is not for the greatest good. We would like to return to the energy containers. Blossom Goodchild. Good. Should I here, neatly slip in about the pillars of light? I know it was the end of 2011 when you spoke of those. I know, because I threw a tantrum and decided to knock off our communications for a while due to a misunderstanding of time zones. So, are these containers part of the pillars of light? Federation of Light. Yes, they are. Very much so. If you recall, in the channeling through of the message of old, we explained that the energy blocks were a condensed version. For want of a better way of putting it. An easier way to show would be that of a small piece of sponge, and when immersed in water, it expands. A poor, yet, understandable analysis. Therefore, when the timing is correct, certain portions of this block are carefully removed, and released into your energy fields. Blossom Goodchild. You want to say something else about before they are released, don't you? Federation of Light. Yes. Thank you, it was a matter of order of wording. Yet, to slip back into the position of portions being carefully removed, they are then. Blossom Goodchild. Wow. We are both struggling here to get this across. Words, words, words. As you say, so inadequate. I can see in my mind what you mean, yet, no words to express. Let's keep on trying. Federation of Light. Many thanks. These portions are then sectioned, and, how would we say in your terms? The easiest way being, put into chambers, where their role is made clear. In that, within these chambers, information is infused into them. When complete, they are sealed and treated before being released into/onto your planet. Blossom Goodchild. I fully get that this is merely a way of trying to interpret to us what happens. For we do not have your technology that you are using in our thought waves. Dear God, I sound quite intelligent. Federation of Light. This is exactly right, Blossom. So much more is involved and yet, inexpressible. Blossom Goodchild. I may have asked before, yet, what kind of information? Federation of Light. Information that your beings already know, and yet, have not been ready/in a position to receive. Information that makes total sense as to your next moves. Information as to exactly what it is that you are to do next. Blossom Goodchild. What? Each one of us? Just a few? What? How does it work? Federation of Light. It is of a majorly complex design. As these pillars move through your skies, some visibly, some not, they will deposit information into the beings who need to receive it. Different information for some, than others. It is a matter of coding, which takes us onto another track altogether. Blossom Goodchild. Lordy Lord. I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. Federation of Light. The codes within each living organism, each soul, are unique and individual, and as we have discussed before, are ever-changing. The codes within the pillars and the energies coming through from these containers are matched and change correspondingly to fall into place with its twin energy as it moves through. Blossom Goodchild. This is amazing. Although, mind-boggling and very much out of this world, it somehow is computing with my understanding, and believe me, I ain't no rocket scientist. So, you are saying, in a nutshell, that these pillars of light, and also, just in general the tripling of the cubes of energy coming through, are informationally coded? These codes are ever-changing to coincide with the ever-changing codes that each and every individual upon the planet has with every thought, and when passing by, matches up with / drops into, that particular individual, the information that he/she/ is designed for? Federation of Light. In a nutshell, yes. Blossom Goodchild. If I thought it appropriate to swear in these communications, I could be dropping one that begins with F right now and in capitals. Not only that. I can't believe I have followed all this. Federation of Light. You have followed it well and easily. You underestimate your capabilities greatly. Blossom Goodchild. Actually, I am well aware that my understanding is because you are assisting me in doing so. Yet, I will accept the compliment. I feel we are done for now, and also, taking into account that all this is added on to the 2010 message, so, many souls' brains may be frazzled by now. Federation of Light. Once again, we thank the gentleman for his devout search. We know you would not have had the time or inclination or patience to do so. Blossom Goodchild. Correct. I know he is over the moon just by the fact that I said I would certainly be bringing it up in the next channeling. In his words, what an unexpected treat I received scouring about 5 years' worth of your writings. It felt like I had stepped into some kind of time machine, and was soaring through a gold and gem-filled chamber. Maybe a reminder for us all when we have nothing better to do the same. Many thanks guys. It just gets more and more out there. So unreal, from all that I grew up with, yet, so real in my soul's acceptance of truth. In gratitude, in loving service, I am. Federation of Light. We very much enjoy our communications and are also, in much gratitude to be of such service. Website, Blossom Goodchild.